AM 630. WMAL.
6:37 on WMAL. Brian Neiman, Brian Wilson with you. Good Tuesday morning. Derek McCoy is on the line. He's Executive Director of Maryland Marriage Alliance. Good morning, Derek. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Well, we're doing okay. A couple of things I want to get to. First of all, yesterday the referendum on gay marriage, how it will appear on the ballot, was released. Are you happy with the way of the wording on the referendum for gay marriage?
Well, quite honestly, no. We think that it could have been done a lot better, but we did not have any expectations much higher than what we actually received. We understand the Attorney General and Secretary of State were the ones who really did the crafting of the question, more so the Attorney General's office. And, it would be a better opportunity if the voters of Maryland got the opportunity just to see a very straight-up question on the ballot. However, they front-loaded it with a lot of different things. I think they've really made it a bit overreaching, and this could be something that really backfires.
It's pretty long. Did you want it just to say, should marriage be extended to homosexuals and gays, or how did you want the wording to be done?
I think a straight-up question, something in the light of just saying, Civil Marriage Protection Act, which extends marriage to include, same-sex couples, something to that regard. It helps people understand that, one, we're dealing with a simple redefinition of marriage. We're not dealing with a new, I think this one goes very extensively to talk about civil marriage versus like it's some other kind of marriage that is not in the current law.
Right.
So we are looking at it. It's a very interesting way. We've talked to a lot of people who've read the actual question already. A lot of our folks that have looked at it, and they just, saying, what does this mean? This is ambivalent.
Now, this got forced onto the ballot by a group of petitioners who submitted the petition, said, we want this to be put before the people of the state of Maryland. Do you have any recourse to go to the Attorney General and the Secretary of State and say, we just sort of disagree with the way you characterized our question?
Yes, we do. We have about a 10-day window to be able to challenge that question. So
will you?
We're looking. Yes, we do. You
will?
Well, yeah, we're looking into it right now, and by the end of the day, we'll have a conclusive statement of whether we're going to do that or not. We've been consulting with our attorneys now to just get a good understanding of what we're going to do going forward. But, again, it's so overreaching in terms of how they position it. They've actually... from one end of it, it could be more upfront and much more straighter. The other end of it is that at the same time, it's so far out there for us. It's given us a lot of different talking points to campaign on, and just to help people understand really what this is about. This is quite simply about, hey, look, this is redefining marriage as we know it in the state of Maryland.
But it's not inaccurate, is it? I mean, I'm reading it. It is long, and it certainly, tries to water it down, and it isn't as stark as what you want it to be. But there's nothing inaccurate about the question, is there, as far as what the law does?
I think, no. They've tried to put in there every piece of information that is supportive on that end, and I think the questions, though, beg of, what's missing? What's the questions that, be honest, what are the things that are not protected? What are about your businesses? What about your parents? There's a lot of different aspects of that bill that are not protected that they tried to front load in there that I think is just a little bit disingenuous of how it's stated within that question's realm. The religious freedom aspect, well, everybody has First Amendment rights, but we've never bought into the issue that's saying that you're not going to be invaded upon in any such way or form. We've already seen, and it kind of goes right in hand, what already happens if you say that you disagree. I think Mayor Vincent Gray over in D.C. said it the best, is that, once this law is turned into, it becomes law within the state, in which he has done within the District of Columbia. They did not allow the people to vote on that issue. Really, you have no place in his city if you believe that marriage is between one man and one woman. So, I think that's what we're moving towards, and you're dealing with simple freedoms that you're going to be able to speak out and talk about some of these issues.
Derek McCoy is our guest, Executive Director of Maryland Marriage Alliance. So what's your sense? I mean, do you think this is going to pass?
No. At the end of the day, no, I don't think it's going to pass. I think the people of Maryland are going to stand up strongly, I should say, and be able to speak out on this issue and make sure that their voice is heard. We've gotten over, well over 200,000 plus petition signers.
The polls show, though, it's very close in Maryland.
Yes, we do understand the polling. In every city which they have done this before, right. 32 times where this has gone to the ballot box, the people have come out and supported marriage being between one man and one woman. Even in North Carolina, last couple months ago, when they actually went for a constitutional amendment, one of the things that they showed is that this was going to be an upset. This is going to be the first state that goes down, and they're not going to vote for it. That was dramatically seen very differently. At over 61% of the people voted in support of marriage, one man, one woman. What you have is, you have interesting dynamic that happens. People begin to understand the very unique tie between this issue and their ability to speak out in the public square, their ability to voice a personal opinion. I think the Chick-fil-A instance was very common and very very evident for some of those issues. And so I think people start to put together their own dots and see this, and we talk about it, but it's quite obvious what happens is that people don't necessarily voice their opinions in a public poll. And, they get behind that ballot box and they vote for what they know is right.
Now, the Chick-fil-A thing, there is a new development that I want to get to in just a moment. But then Chick-fil-A thing, a lot of people who went to support Chick-fil-A, when you ask them the question, they said, well, I'm going because I really like this company and I like this restaurant chain and I think they're being unfairly put upon. The other thing was they said, well, this is a First Amendment issue for me. I personally may not have strong feelings about gay marriage, but I believe that the owner of the company should be able to hold those opinions without penalty. So do you really think that at the end of the day you're going to prevail, your position is going to prevail when it comes down to time for vote?
Oh, I do. I mean, there's no question about it. We are very encouraged about what we see and the thousands and thousands of voting citizens that have already been engaged on this issue. There's no question in our mind that we do think that we're going to prevail on this issue. And there are so many people that have just voiced their opinion one way or the other. I get stopped every single day, and people saying, I hear that, I hear what you're saying. People that are in the most unobvious places where they're in places which you would think nobody here agrees with us on this issue. People just stop us on the side.
I want to ask you about the new Chick-fil-A development. That is at the University of Maryland. Students have gathered, are you ready for this, 560 signatures who say they want them to shut down the Chick-fil-A on campus. What do you think?
Right. It goes right to the simple thing. That would be a huge and just monumental mistake if the University of Maryland tried to do that. First of all, that goes to the core of the First Amendment rights. Here you got a company that I don't know if any of their my pleasures that they do so well has ever been distinguished that are discriminatory in any shape, form, or fashion with any group of people. To me, I always call Chick-fil-A is they're the Nordstroms of the fast food business. They do it well and they do it right.
And customer service is very good. Yeah,
I guarantee it's incredible customer service.
I will say this: anybody with a clipboard could go out to any university. They could get a petition signed to say, I think jelly beans should be outlawed, and they get 500 signatures. That's nothing.
All right, Derek. Good to have you on the program. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it for being here.
Derek McCoy, Executive Director, Maryland Marriage Alliance.